Everybody, how about that for a Tuesday, huh? Not too shabby. The Tigers Twins giving you full coverage here at yournews.com on the Parker and the Man page. Mark Wilson with your webcam. And you can read all about games 1 and 2 of the day-night doubleheader at Comerica Park. Were people talking about it where you were? At the bank, at the dry cleaner, at the store, wherever you went? People talk about the Tigers all of a sudden with this big week here. Minnesota and Chicago to wrap up the year with the Tigers now in a 2-game lead situation over Minnesota. It was 1 game after the first game of the doubleheader. Of course, the Twins won that one 3-2 in 10 innings. And then the nightcap, Justin Verlander came back strong, hard, made it happen. 8 Ks as the Tigers won 6-5. Curtis Granderson hit a couple of home runs in that one. Some interesting notes from the game. In the first one, Joe Mauer was the only Twin not to get a hit of the regular position player starters. And, of course, he's the league's leading hitter in the American League. And in the nightcap, it was Gerald Laird of the Tigers. The 2 catchers from the respective teams, opener and the nightcap, were the only guys not to get hits in those games. At least one for their respective position players. I know it's, again, one of those things, those little oddities in baseball. Mauer a little bit better hitter than Gerald Laird, but that was the situation. So the Tigers split in good situation, in good standing, 2 games up. They can still wrap this thing up against the Twins. They don't have to wait for the White Sox to come in. They can have the champagne ready, pop the corks, on Thursday if they can beat the Twins tonight. Beat the Twins tonight and get ready for a little celebration action on Thursday, because at that point, the Tigers would win the American League Central. Now, if the Twins win, of course, and that's what Ron Gardenhire wants, then you wait for the final weekend of the season to see what cooks. So there you go. Read all about the 2 games, giving you full coverage here at yournews.com. We want you to come here for your coverage on the Tigers and the Twins and, for sports all season long, all year long. Also, other things on the tweets and feeds section. The Tigers, Curtis Granderson hit his 30th home run of the season. That gives the Tigers 2 30 home run hitters, Miguel Cabrera and C. Grand. I had to look this up because I couldn't figure it out. I called up some people and said, how many Tigers have actually hit 30 home runs in the 2000s? We came up with exactly 3. So you can read about who the other one was if you forgot. But it hasn't happened much in the last 10 years where a Tiger player's hit 30, not 40. 30. The last 40, I'll tell you right now, was Cecil Fielder back in 1991 when he led the league with 44. So that's 18 years since he had a 40 home run hitter. And, Miguel Cabrera came close last year when he led the league with 37. But 30 is still an oddity for the Tigers. It's becoming extinct, like a dodo bird. They're a dodo bird. So that many guys at 30, and Granderson and Cabrera have both done it this year. First time in 10 years that the Tigers have had 2 30 home run hitters on the same team in the same year. And you can read about who those guys were. Also, the Pistons, I saw this at Media Day, on their lapels right around here, they're going to be wearing patches that say CD2 on them. That's for Chuck Daly. The number 2 was the number retired for Chuck because of the 2 championships. They couldn't retire his suit. They could have put a suit in the rafters, but since he didn't wear a uniform, they put the number 2 as retired for Chuck Daly. And it was kind of a weird Media Day. I didn't mention this yesterday in the webcam or in the piece when I talked a little bit about what we'll be doing with the Pistons in the coming days and weeks. But there was a little bit of a pall because of the deaths of Bill Davidson and Chuck Daly. You could sense it. You can sense it's just a different feel at the practice facility because there was, people were, just on the lowdown, if you were. Tom Wilson, Pistons, Palace Sports Entertainment president. You could just sense it because those are big losses for the Pistons family, losing Chuck and Bill Davidson, but obviously the owner too. So read about that. And the NBA will, in fact, go with scab refs. I call them scabs because they're going to be crossing a line. I guess they're not picketing yet. Who knows what the real refs will do once the regular season starts or even the exhibitions begin. But the NBA says talks have not gone well, so they're going to go with the replacement referees. They had camp for them. They say they're ready to go, and the exhibitions start next week. Trevor Anderson of Michigan State, you got to read his comments. You got to see what he said about the University of Michigan. He's not a big fan. And this being Michigan State week, we throw that in there for you. Trevor Anderson, the defensive end, senior defensive end. He's from Detroit. Not a huge guy when it comes to U of M. And he actually said a few fighting words. So maybe a little bulletin board material. Put it up on the old bulletin board there in Ann Arbor. And Wayne Gretzky, his next spot, place he could end up. After the Olympics, probably. Check that out as well. It's all there on the Parker and the Man page at yournews.com. Just go to yournews.com. If you don't know this and you're watching these on YouTube, go to yournews.com, put in your Detroit area zip code, go to sports, click on Parker and the Man, you see all the stuff. Tigers' big double dip with the Twins, playoff-like atmosphere. 30 home run hitters in Detroit in the last 10 years. Pistons wearing the CD2 patches. NBA scab refs. Trevor Anderson's comments on Michigan. And the great one, where might Wayne Gretzky end up? There you go. So it's all there for you. Check it out early and often. And as we always tell you, you can respond as well. I am TV Boy at YourNewsDetroit.com. Rob Parker is Rob at YourNewsDetroit.com.